Hello everyone, welcome to commercial arithmetic class. So in the previous video we had seen the definition of ratio and proportion and some of the definitions and properties. So in today's class we will see the problems related to both ratio and proportion. So the first problem is, if the cost of 7 kg onion is rupees 490, find the cost of 27 kgs of onion. So here you can see this problem is an example of direct proportion. That is, as one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. So here for 7 kg, if the cost of onion is rupees 490, then obviously for 27 kgs of onion, the cost will be more than rupees 490. So this is how you decide whether the given problem is of direct proportion or inverse proportion. So here let the unknown quantity, that is the cost of 27 kg of onion, be considered as x. So now let's write in the form of proportion. So the proportion for the given problem is 7 kg is to 27 kg as rupees 490 is to x. So here you can see we have taken the ratio of the same quantity expressed in same unit of measurement. So here the first ratio is for weight of the onions, which is expressed in terms of kg, and the next ratio is the cost of onion, which is expressed in terms of rupees. Also note that if it is of direct proportion, the given quantities must be written in the antecedent of both the ratios. So therefore we have got this proportion, and the next step is, once you get the proportion, we had seen in the previous class the rule of 3, wherein you can find out the unknown quantity given the 3 quantities. So when you know 3 quantities, the fourth quantity can be obtained. So we will use that rule of 3 over here. And also we had seen the product of means is equal to the product of extremes. That is, this is the mean and these two terms are extremes. So we have to take the product. So 7 into x, which is extreme, is equal to 27 into 490. So we have multiplied the means and the extremes and we have equated, because we had seen in the property that taking equality of two ratios is nothing but proportion. So once you get this equation, then the next step is just the simplification. So we have to find out x. Therefore x is equal to 27 into 490 upon 7. So this 7 goes to the denominator. So simplify this term using your simple calculators. So x is equal to 1890. Therefore the cost of 27 kg of onion is rupees 1890. So this is how you solve proportion problems. So let's see the second problem. The question is, if a worker's daily income is rupees 675 for 3 months, how much income he gets for 8 months? So even this is an example of direct proportion. So let x be the required amount, that is his income for 8 months. So since it is a direct proportion, we'll write the given quantities in the antecedent part. So we know 3 months and the amount he gets is rupees 675. So the next consequent part would be 8 months and the income has to be found out. So the next steps are similar to the first problem, that is taking the product of means and extremes and equating. So 3 into x is equal to 8 into rupees 675. Therefore x is nothing but 8 into 675 upon 3. Therefore, our x value is 1800. Therefore, the daily income of a worker for 8 months is rupees 1800. So let's say another example. A and B share profits in the ratio 2:3. If A gets rupees 500, how much does B get? So here they have given the ratio of two quantities, that is A and B, and they have said their profit is in the ratio of 2:3, and if A gets rupees 500, how much B gets? So let's write in the proportion form. Here the ratio is 2:3 as rupees 500 into x. Here x is the amount received by B. So again, using the concept of means and extremes, taking the product and equating, we will get the answer as 2 into x is equal to 3 into 500. So solve for x and we will get the answer as 3 into 500 upon 2, which is rupees 750. So therefore B gets rupees 750. So now let's see next problem, that is fourth problem. If 10 men can do a piece of work in 35 days, how long will it take for 25 men to do it? So carefully look into the question. So this is an inverse proportion example, because here the ratio is 10 men and 25 men. So if 10 men takes 35 days to complete a piece of work, then when the number of men increases, then obviously the number of days to complete a work will decrease. So in such cases, we have to use the concept of inverse proportion. So let's see how to write the proportion. So for direct proportion, we used to write the given quantity in the antecedent part, but here you have to write the given quantity of the first ratio in the consequent part, whereas the second quantity should be in the antecedent of the second ratio. So for your for your easy understanding, in case of inverse proportion, the first quantities should be side by side. That is, they have to be written in the means of the proportion. So once you write it in the proportion, so here the first ratio is of number of men and the second proportion is for number of days. So 25 men is to 10 men as 35 days is to x. So again, using the concept of means and extremes, taking the product and equating. So here 25 into x is equal to 10 into 35. Therefore x is equal to 10 into 35 upon 25. So simplify and you will get x as 14 days. So 25 men can complete a piece of work in 14 days. So you have to first take few minutes to understand the question, and you have to know whether it is a direct proportion or inverse proportion, and then write it in a general form of proportion and then simplify. So let us see the next question, that is, traveling at a speed of 35 miles per hour, a distance can be covered in 2 hours. How long will it take to cover the same distance at 30 miles per hour? So here they have given a train or some vehicle is traveling at 35 miles per hour and the distance that it covers is 2 hours. So in the next case, they are saying that the speed is decreased, that is from 35 miles the speed is reduced to 30 miles per hour, and they are asking us to find out, so what is the time required to cover the distance. So obviously when you decrease the speed, then the time taken to cover a distance will be increased. So they are inversely proportional. So this is an example of inverse proportion. So we know as the speed decreases, the time increases. So we can write the proportion as x is nothing but we have to find out the number of hours. X is to 2 hours as 35 miles per hour is to 30 miles per hour. So you can interchange these ratios, that is not a problem. So once you write it in a general form, the next step would be taking the product of means and extremes and equating. So x into 30 miles per hour and is equal to 2 hours into 35 miles per hour. So therefore x is equal to 2 into 35 upon 30, simplified, and you will get the answer as 7 upon 3, which is nothing but 2.33. Therefore we can say it takes 2 hours and 33 minutes to cover the same distance at 30 miles per hour. So now let's see the sixth question, that is, find the ratio of 366 hours to a leap year. So the ratio is, they have asked us to find the ratio. So we can write 366 hours is to leap year. So we know that in one leap year there are 366 days. So 366 hours is to 366 days, but we know that the ratio can be taken only when we can express the quantity in the same unit or in the same quantities, that is hours. So this is in terms of days. So we have to convert 366 days in terms of hours. So what we will do is, the next step is 366 hours is equal to 366 into 24, because in one day we will be having 24 hours. So therefore now the given quantities are of the same kind, you can take the proportion. So we know that the ratio can be expressed in terms of a fraction. So that means we can say 366. So when you express in terms of fraction, it will be, that is a is to b can be expressed as a upon b. So here a is 366 divided by 366 into 24. So this 366 and 366 will get cancelled. So we'll get 1 upon 24. So here a is 1 and b is 24. So again the given fraction you can rewrite it as a ratio. So therefore we'll obtain the ratio as 1:24. So or else you can directly cancel over here. So we'll get 1:24. So the ratio of 366 hours to a leap year is 1:24 or 1 day. So now let's see the next example. So this is an important example. The question is, distribute rupees 14,000 between A and B in the ratio of 3:4. So in exams they can change the quantity and the ratio, but this type of example will be asked, has been asked many times. So how to simplify such type of questions is, so if a quantity has to be divided in the ratio A is to B among two persons, that is A and B, then A's share would be A upon A plus B of P, where P is the given quantity, and B's share would be B upon A plus B of the given quantity. So using this we can solve such type of problems. So let us see, for the given problem here P is nothing but 14,000 and small a, that is the ratio, antecedent is 3 and consequent is 4. So they have asked us to distribute rupees 14,000 between A and B. So therefore A's share would be, here small a is 3 and a plus b is nothing but 4 plus 3, which is nothing but 7. So A's share would be 3 upon 7 of rupees 14,000. So you can use your simple calculators and solve it. That is 3 into 14,000 divided by 7. So when you simplify it, you will get the answer as rupees 6,000. So similarly for B's share, that is small b upon a plus b, here a plus b is same, that is 7, and your b is consequent, that is 4. So in the ratio we have the consequent as 4. So therefore B's share would be 4 upon 7 of rupees 14,000. So again simplify and you will get the answer as rupees 8,000. So rupees 14,000 is divided between A and B in the ratio 3:4, and the amount is rupees 6,000 and B receives rupees 8,000. So just remember these formulas. So now let's see another example. So the 8th problem is, find the ratio of the cost price to the selling price of 25% on the cost price. So here they have asked us to find the ratio between cost price to the selling price. So let us consider the cost price to be rupees 100 for convenience. So they have said they have sold a product with 25% on the cost price, which is nothing but profit. So the profit is rupees 25. So if selling price is, if the profit is rupees 25, then the product will be sold for rupees 125. Hence the ratio of the cost price to the selling price is 100:125, because we have taken the cost price to be as 100 and the selling price is 125. So try to reduce it in the lowest form, which is nothing but 4:5. So this was a simple problem, but you have to note here they have asked the ratio of cost price to the selling price of 25% on the cost price. So here they may even ask for the selling price. So according to the given question, you have to find out the required ratio. So the 9th question is, divide rupees 1040 among A, B and C in the ratio 1:2, 1/2:1/3:1/4. So this is like a previous problem, that is of 7th problem. So given a quantity, you have to divide among persons. So here there are 3 persons and the ratio is given as fraction, that is 1/2:1/3:1/4. So whenever you have the given ratio in such form, you have to convert it to its lowest form, and which can be done using the LCM. So take LCM of the denominator, that is 2, 3 and 4, which is nothing but 12, and then you simplify. So for 2 it is 6. So when you get the LCM as 12, you will get 3 is nothing but 4 and 4 is nothing but 3. So therefore your lowest form would be 6:4:3, because when you again try to simplify it, you will get back to this term, that is 6 ones are 6 2s are, so you got 1/2. The next ratio would be 1/3. So you can see we have obtained the lowest form of the given ratio. So once you get the lowest form of the ratio, this is of the type of seventh problem. So the ratio is in the form of A is to B is to C, and here P is rupees 1040, and you have to divide among A, B and C. So using those formulas, A's share would be, here what is small a, 6, and the denominator is A plus B plus C, that is 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13. So A's share is 6 upon 13 of rupees 1040. So simplify it, you will get A's share as rupees 480. So B's share is small b divided by A plus B plus C. So B is 4 and the denominator is 13. So when you simplify, you will get B's share as rupees 320, and C's share is C divided by A plus B plus C, where C is 3 and denominator is 13. So C's share, when you simplify, you will get it as 240. So using that formula, we have found out the shares of A, B and C of a given quantity. So the only difference here was the given ratio was not in its lowest form, so we have to convert it into its lowest form using the LCM, and then you have to simplify. So let's see the 10th problem. The ratio of income and expenditure of a person is 8:7. If he saves rupees 1500 per month, find the income and expenditure. So here they have given the ratio of income and expenditure of a person, and also they have given his savings per month. So you have to find out the value of the income and expenditure. So now let us assume that the person's income and expenditure is 8x and 7x respectively. So we know that saving is nothing but income minus expenditure gives your savings. So here we have taken income as rupees 8x and expenditure as rupees 7x, and in the question they have given the value of the savings. So substitute that. Therefore the saving is rupees 1500 and 8 minus 7 is 1, so we get x as rupees 1500. So we have taken x as nothing but the income over here in this case. So income is equal to rupees 8x, 8 into x value, so income is rupees 12,000, and substitute x in the expenditure, that is 7 into x. So we'll get the expenditure as rupees 10,500. So even this was a simple problem. So the 11th question is, find the fourth proportion of 2, 3, 4. The next sub question is 4, 9, 12. Third one is 1, 3, 3, and the last one is 2, 6, 6. So you have to find out the fourth proportion. So let us see for the first case. So we have to find out the fourth proportion of 2, 3 and 4. So let us take the fourth proportion as x. We know that the product of extremes and product of means can be equated. So 2x is equal to 3 into 4. Therefore x is equal to 3 into 4 upon 2, which is nothing but 6. Therefore 2 is to 3 as 4 is to c. So we have found out the fourth proportion. So these are some easy problems. So let us see for the next case, that is 4 is to 9 as 12 is to x. So you have to find out this x value. So multiply the extremes and means and equate them. So 4x is equal to 9 into 12. Therefore x is equal to 9 into 12 upon 4, which is nothing but 27. So try to solve for the next two cases, that is case C and D. Also, in such cases, they may ask to find the third proportion of 1 and 3. So, you can take the ratio as 1:3 as 3:x. So, if the question is find the third proportion, you have to take the last term as it is. So, let us see the 12th question. The charge per day per head in a hotel is rupees 1500. What will be the bill for 10 persons staying in a hotel for 5 days? So, here they have given 3 quantities, that is the charges, the number of persons, and the number of days. So, the charge is rupees 1500 for one person staying in a hotel for 1 day. So, they have asked us to find what is the charge for 10 persons staying in a hotel for 5 days. So, here there are more than 2 ratios. So, we know that if there are more than 2 ratios, then we can take it as compound proportion. So, here the first ratio is 1:10, which is for number of persons, and the next ratio is 1:5 for number of days, and the second ratio, that is 1500:x, is the charge that is cost by the hotel. So, we can write the given form as a general form of compound proportion. So, therefore, the first ratio, that is 1:10, as 1500:x, and the third ratio is 1:5. So, we had seen in the previous class how to simplify compound proportion. So, similarly, try to solve this problem, that is A into C is 1 into 1 into y. So, here y is your x. So, you have to multiply the extremes and means. So, here extremes is 1, 1 and x, and your means is 10,500 into 5. So, when you simplify according to that, you will get it as 1 into 1 into x is equal to 10 into 5 into 1500. So, therefore, x is equal to 10 into 5 into 1500, and the value of x is 7500. Therefore, the bill for 10 persons staying in a hotel for 5 days is rupees 7500. So, in such type of questions, the first step would be you have to find out what type of proportion has to be used. Here the number of ratios is more than 2, therefore we have to use compound proportion. Try to express the given ratios in the form of general form of compound proportion and then simplify. So, the next problem is the monthly income of A and B are in the ratio 9:7, and those of B and C are in the ratio 3:2. If 10% of A's income exceeds 15% of C's income by rupees 2700, then find B's income. So, in the given problem, they have given A and B are in the ratio 9:7, and B and C are in the ratio 3:2. So, in such cases, you have to use the concept of continued proportion. So, here you can see B is common. So, try to make these values as same. So, you can multiply the first quantity by 3 and the second quantity by 7. So, when you simplify, you will get A is to B as 3 9s are 27 and 3 7s are 21, and B is to C as 3 7 are 21 and 7 2s are 14. So you can obtain the value of A is to B as 27 is to 21 and B is to C as 21 is to 14. So this is nothing but the other form of a ratio, and when you simplify again you will get back to this the lowest form of a ratio. So why we are trying to express in this form is because we can write A is to B is to C now as 27 is to 21 is to 14, because here B is in both the cases. So we can express in form of continued ratio, which is nothing but 27 is to 21 is to 14. So to get the continued proportion, we are simplifying the given ratios. So once you get the continued ratio, I just forgot to write over here, that is A is to B is to C. So these two you can write it as A is to B is to C, which is nothing but 27 is to 21 and is to 14. Sorry. So now let us take their income as 27x, 21x and 14x respectively. That is, A's income is 27x, B's income is 21x and C's income is 14x respectively. So in the question they have mentioned 10% of A's income exceeds 15% of C's income by rupees 2,700. So how you can write the given statement is 10% of A's income exceeds, which is nothing but minus 15% of C's income, and they have given the value as rupees 2,700. So this is how you can write the given statement, because they have mentioned exceeds word, so you have to take the subtraction. So 10% of A's income, we know that A's income is 27x and 10% is nothing but 0.1 and 15% is nothing but 0.15 and C's income is 14x, which is equal to rupees 2,700. Multiply these terms, you will get it as 2.7 and 0.15 into 14 is 2.1. Now the next step is 2.7 minus 2.1, which is nothing but 0.6x is equal to 2,700. Therefore x is equal to 2,700 divided by 0.6, which is nothing but 4,500. So you got the value of x, and they have asked to find out B's income, so which is nothing but 21x. So substitute the value of x as 4,500. So B's income would be 21 into 4,500, which is nothing but B's income is rupees 94,500 rupees. So if they had asked the value to be if they had asked to find out A's income and C's income, you should have just multiplied 27 into 4,500, and for C's income it is 14 into x, that is 14 into 4,500, and you would get the value of income of A and C also. So whenever there is a ratio between three persons and they have mentioned a common ratio, so here B is a common person in both the ratio, so try to express it in the form of continued proportion, that is A is to B is to C. So you have to convert the given ratio so that both the values of the common person should be the same. So that's it for today's class. In the next video we will solve some more problems related to ratio and proportion. So try to work out some similar problems and also work out these problems that we have solved today. Thank you.